we're going to go ahead and get started and let the last few people trickle in as they may. I think I know everybody in here now. Haley Van Patten from the Ogden Downtown Alliance. Just as a reminder, we are filming this meeting and we will be emailing it out after with any relevant presentations, links, documents, things like that. So if you are presenting today, please speak into this cute little microphone that is not for projection, but is for our camera. I think I told everybody in here already about the interactive timelines that we have printed on that table. So if you're sitting through today's meeting and you're thinking about things that you've seen happen in the 9 Rails, around the 9 Rails, that you've participated in, XYZ, please feel free to leave those on those timelines if they are not there already. We just want to celebrate the things that are happening here and just have your input and participation in that. So thank you so much. And with that being said, I will turn the time over to Ogden City Arts for some updates. Sarah is going to talk to us a little bit about the 9 Rails brand feedback from our last meeting, and then Jess will be adding a piece to that, and then Lori is going to talk through the station artwork for the OGX platform. So I am really excited. Welcome, Sarah.
All right. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all today. So I don't have a ton of updates on the brand feedback today. I just wanted to kind of share the takeaways that we felt like we heard from you all in our last meeting and how we're kind of planning to carry that feedback forward. So from our last district meeting, it seemed like the biggest thing we heard was the brand is fine, but we need to see it in more places. And so that's something that we're going to be working on. And then just using it more consistently and making sure that everybody in 9 Rails has access to all the brand elements so that you can start using it consistently as well. We did get a little bit of feedback about the color variations that are used with the brand, and so I think we'll be taking a look at that and seeing if there's some things we can do just to make sure it's clean and crisp and reproduces well, whether you're looking at it on a computer or looking at it on printed material. But ODA is looking at a project that I think Jess is going to tell you more about to make sure that all of the downtown district branding is kind of hanging together, that we have good, clean versions of brands for all the downtown districts, and so 9 Rails would treat as part of that. So I'll just pass it off to Jess to come talk to you a little bit more about that.
Hi. Yes, so we do have an RFP that's being written right now. It's mostly written. What we're doing right now is we're getting together a group of all of the people that need to be there. So we don't want to go through this whole process and pick something and then, someone from some organization says, yeah, but we didn't approve that, so it's not okay. So right now we're getting all of the people who belong at the table, and then we'll narrow down what the RFPs will be judged on. And then we will submit that out to the public. And basically what it's going to do is it's an RFP to provide brand guidelines and really a redefinement. So there are like existing logos that are floating around and stuff, and this will kind of bring it all home and make it all one, so that if you were to have an event on historic 25th Street, there would be free access to a logo you can use, so that we're really like identifying the places in our city and really just giving them a presence. So that will be great. And then it will have an a la carte option and a singular RFP option, so that if we find a company that we're really happy with and they're really listening to where we're planning to go as a community, then we don't have to go through this process every time we decide to add a district or whatever. Okay? Any questions? Yeah. Yeah, if you guys have a design company that specializes in like logos or colors and things like that, that really just has that background and you worked with, that's great. Absolutely send their email to me and we'll make sure to send out the RFP to them specifically when we do release that. Okay? Yes. It can be an individual, yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? No.
I pulled this off the wall. So you want a closer look, I'll put it back on the wall after. Thank you.
So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the OGX Bus Rapid Transit art project that we've got here. This is, Haley's holding up the designs, the submitted designs from the artists that were selected for the project. So if you want to take a closer look at it after I'm done, it'll probably go back up on the wall there in the hallway. But this has been a kind of a long haul project. We started, the very first visioning meeting was held in February of 2018, and that was for actually the station design itself with UTA. So this started back in 2018. UTA contracted with a company, I believe out of Seattle, if I can remember correctly, that designed the actual bones of the station itself. So that went through 2018 and into 2019. And then in early 2020, we started to work with UTA to consider how to include public art onto these stations. And then, of course, our favorite event happened. The pandemic came and kind of waylaid and slowed things down a little bit. We continue to have online meetings and worked through a very arduous process through UTA about what type of artwork we could do, because the stations actually technically become UTA property, like the city has annexed that property into UTA's, so they control that. And we were like, do we install a sculpture there? Like, what can we do that, like, it'll be impactful for the community and affordable for our public art dollars? So we ended up working through a long process of placing artwork on the glass. So the stations have a windscreen, which is these separate glass panels. You can kind of see in this one, they're staggered and they go on the back of the station, and that will help protect people from wind or weather while they're waiting for the buses. We worked through options through 2021 with UTA, looking at budget, and we did a lot of research on the longevity of this, installing things on art, what the maintenance would be, if it would fade with the sunlight. We just wanted to make sure that we were smart about how we spent our money, and ended up doing a laminated process where the artwork is actually transparent and it's sandwiched between two pieces of glass, so it's very protected. And then as long as the glass doesn't get broken, it should maintain really well. And so at the end of 2021, in October, we opened up a nationwide art call looking for artists to submit an RFQ. So an RFP is a request for proposal. An RFQ is a request for qualifications. Public artists generally won't take the time to build a proposal for something like this. It takes a lot of time, so they don't generally submit. So we do an RFQ where they submit an artist statement and then their past work. And so those submissions, we received 68 submissions, were reviewed by the Public Arts Subcommittee. With the Ogden City Arts Advisory Committee, went through all of those and narrowed it down. Weber State has 3 of the stations. There's 13 stations, as you can see, throughout the BRT project. Weber State selected their own 3 artists, and Ogden City selected 10. So out of those artists, 7 are local artists or from Utah, and 6 of them for out of state. So it's a good mix of, supporting, bringing the light of what the art scene's doing here in Ogden from out of state, but then supporting and bolstering up our local artists as well. And so the Arts Advisory Committee did a really good job at curating and thinking really well about which artists got assigned a station. We asked each artist to research the neighborhood around, like anything that was important, the type of people that live there or what was close to there, to craft their artwork so that it related to the neighborhood or the people that were going to use that station. And then we also thought really closely about what the traffic was like around it. Like, is it something that people are going to be driving by quickly? So you really couldn't put a big, very detailed artwork there, like along Harrison. It's 40 miles an hour generally, and some of them are in the middle of the road, and some are on the side. Would be a lot of pedestrians walking up to it, or cars driving by. So they did a really good job at lining up artwork throughout if you follow along. So this is their modal. This is Cole Eisenhower, and you would recognize him from the mural just right over here, the Market Star mural. So this is Cole's work. He's at the station, at the Front Runner station. And then it goes through Kiesel. So Chuck Landvander is a Salt Lake City artist, and that is Joe McQueen and Annabelle Weeks, I think her Weekly, like, yeah, so that, and she ran a jazz club, I believe. It was really good friends. So, and then, so these are more, this has a lot of detail. There's not cars driving by, people are standing there a lot. In the junction, it's slower paced traffic, so there's a little bit more detail. And then it goes to Ann Tarantino on Washington Boulevard. Washington Boulevard is a much busier city. There is traffic, so it's interesting when you walk up to, there's a lot of fine detail and line work if you look up close to it, but also looks good as you're driving by in a car. So as you go through, you'll see they did a really good job at doing some abstract, Ben Zach's work, and he is going to be by the Weber County Library here up on 25th Street. It is all local people from that neighborhood that he took photos of. So I think it's going to be a beautiful way to spread public art all throughout, a large swath of the city. This is Weber State Art, and Weber State. These three small ones. Those are the artists that Weber State selected. They're a little bit more university-themed pieces, but they work well up at the university. And then this one here is Erica Lyman. That's at the hospital, and it's a single panel one. And we wanted something very calming. A lot of people visiting the hospital, they're sick, or things are not going well, so we wanted something peaceful, serene, and calming for that. So I think the curation of the project was done really well, and excitingly enough, the very first station is opening up August 25th. So is that next week? I think that's next week, 10 a.m. at the Central Campus at Weber State. So that is the one, there's like that roundabout in front of the Ostad Theater, I think that's the Ostad, and the art building, and so they've built a station, and that's grand openings happening there. And I believe the panels will be up, they're telling me they are, but with supply chain issues and stuff, I don't know if the glass panels will be up for the opening, but it is opening, and those will be up as soon as they can get them up. So that is the BRT project. Does anyone have any questions about that? No? All right. Thank you. Into the microphone for we did have a collaboration of Ogden City Public Art Funds, Weber County Ramp, Weber State University, and IHC Hospital, McCady Hospital. Oh, and UTA. Yeah, so it's actually 5. So it's a big collaboration coming together to pull this off. So are they just going to be slowly open? Yeah, I asked for a schedule, and they couldn't really tell me, and as you can see, they're all in various stages of construction. So they're kind of, I know when the first one's happening, and then they'll just kind of trickle in as they complete the construction on them. They're telling me that it'll be completed by August of next year. I think they're going to start. That's a good question.
They're taking a different route.
Are they taking a different route?
Because there's normally like the bus comes from 20 and they're taking 24. So
But
they're just taking similar routes.
to go up to that Weber State, I don't know if they'll start running the line until they have at least a few. There will be a bus that goes to that station once it's open. I just don't know if it's the rapid transit line bus or not. And I do know that you can ride that line for, I think it's 3 years for free. So the first 3 years, it'll be free to ride that line. So we'll all go on an adventure and look at all the art. Okay, thanks very much.
Yikes, with this paper, am I right? Next, I am actually going to turn the time back over to Sarah really quick to go over the Ogden Ave construction project, and then I will be chatting more about the OGX line in place of Andy and Bill, who are normally here, so we're just going to give you all a couple of quick construction updates.
And there's one thing I forgot on the Nine Rails brand item that I just wanted to go back to real quick. So one of the things we talked about in the last district meeting was how we could do more to start telling the story of what's happening in Nine Rails already. And we do have a person part-time at the city who's devoted to marketing and communications within our business development division. And we'd like to make her available to start putting together content about what's going on in Nine Rails, aiming to do about one story every 2 weeks or so. Her name's Meg Sanders. She's awesome. She will come out and talk to people, write up the story, and then we can share that out on the ODA website for Nine Rails. So if any of you have events or projects that you're working on in Nine Rails, please let me know, and we can get you in touch with Meg to come out and put together some stories and content about what you have going on in Nine Rails so that we can start sharing all the cool things that are happening in Nine Rails already. So again, her name's Meg Sanders. She's fantastic. If you have ideas for content, just let me know, and we'll cut her loose on that stuff. So then the other item, the construction update on Ogden Ave. I think most folks here may be already familiar with the project, but we're making some improvements to Ogden Ave just south of 25th Street, pretty much in the area that's adjacent to the Ogden Arts Plaza. And the idea is that we wanted to get a little bit more space that we could use for events and festivals that might be spilling out of the Monarch or spilling out of the plaza. We wanted to make sure that the road could be closed periodically for those types of events and festivals. And we also just wanted to really create kind of like a one cohesive feeling space that extends between those different sites. So our contractor has been working on that for the last few months, and they will be wrapped up by the end of August. You'll notice if you've been over there, the new road surface is a lot flatter. So before, Ogden Ave had this crazy cross slope on it from the east side of the street to the west side of the street. And it just makes it really challenging when people have easy ups and things like that for events to be on that big of a slope. So they figured out how to kind of flatten the road surface, and then they take out the slope by having like a landscaped planter bed between the street and the plaza area. And then we've also done a concrete road surface, so that should make it a lot more comfortable than going and standing on hot asphalt in the summer here. We'll have a nice concrete road surface that can support that type of event and festival. So they're getting really close. Over this week and next week, they'll be putting in new street lights and new landscaping. And then we're planning to reopen that end of Ogden Ave in about 2 weeks. The concrete has to cure before it can be open to vehicle traffic, so that's kind of the big time constraint right now. And then we're also looking at kind of resurfacing Ogden Ave all the way down to 26th Street. So if you've been over there, you can tell it's pretty rough. A lot of road work's been going on over there. And so we'd love to get like a new clean asphalt road surface from the plaza all the way down to 26th Street. And it's actually a pretty quick project. They say it's like 2 days of paving work. So we're just trying to do some coordination on that and see if we can get that whole block of Ogden Ave looking really nice and ready for use. So any questions about Ogden Ave or about the plaza? All right, give it back to Haley.
Can't get rid of me just yet. I'm back. On behalf of Andy and Bill from the OGX team, if you get their weekly construction emails, this might be a bit of a repeat. Also, Andy was at our downtown business owner meeting last Wednesday, and we did record that presentation, and it would have been the same information, so I'll just link that video when I send out the follow-up for this meeting. And if you have any additional questions or want the full in-depth report, he had a PowerPoint for that, so I'll be sure to send that out. But 25th Street is still closed, as you probably have noticed, to through traffic between Adams and Jefferson. The curb and gutter has been installed, but due to supply chain problems and other minor hiccups in that area, they haven't been able to pave yet, but on their email from Friday of last week, it sounded like they were hopeful for that to happen by the end of this week. I was up there yesterday and it is looking good. They're still doing those final preparations, so hopefully that will be this week and then they can move forward with that. And then kind of as Lori mentioned, the platform construction continues, and with that, some of the canopies are starting to be delivered for Washington Boulevard in the next little bit, I believe. So as those continue to move forward, the updates will be made, and then the opening of the first one is next Thursday, like she mentioned, so I'm excited about that. And then we are also excited to report we've been helping them with the collection and reimbursement of those $15 vouchers, coupons, whichever word you fancy. And that's been really successful, and I'm happy to report that we have reimbursed more than $13,000 just to the Nine Rails businesses on 25th Street alone, and that is from January up until now. The last ones just expired on the 13th, and I collected them yesterday and today, so that number will shift once we get our books updated. But I am really excited about that. We had a really great run and great participation from the community. So we will be moving forward to partner with them for the 23rd Street reconstruction, but that looks like it won't be until early 2023. So any questions on OGX updates? If anyone has something really specific, then I can get you Andy's contact information, but yes, Karen. For those of you watching the video after, we had breaking bus news about the campus station that, yes, it will be operational when it opens. Thank you, Karen, for that update. Any other questions about OGX? Awesome. So the last part of our agenda, we just have a couple of downtown updates. Jess is going to come back up and chat through our ODA fall events, and then Thane is actually going to come up and chat through some things for the Monarch, and then we will have some time for question and other thoughts at the end. So,
Hi, it's me again. So there are still several Ogden Twilights that are happening through various dates in August and September. I apologize, I don't have those. Fall Market by Farmers Market Ogden will start on September 17th and will go through October 22nd. It'll be in the 300 block on 25th Street. We're working through permits right now for that, and it's rolling. Harvest Moon is also on the 17th. It'll be from noon to 8 on historic 25th Street between the 1 and 200 blocks. So it'll have, last year we had a low attendance because of COVID, and that was almost 24,000 people. So this year we're hoping to get closer to 35,000 people on our streets, so hopefully some of that is new traffic, especially with it being the same night as a Twilight concert. That should be great. We'll have vendors and we'll have crafts for kids. Some of the things will be free crafts for kids put on by local nonprofits and local businesses that wanted to help out and do those things. Peculiar Pours is on Saturday, October 8th at Union Station. We're just starting to plan that, and I'm finally getting responses back from breweries, so that should be a pretty exciting time. It's going to be kind of Beetlejuicy this year. So if you want to dress up like Beetlejuice, I wouldn't be mad. And Witchstock is Saturday, October 22nd at the Ogden Amphitheater, and there will be a zombie crawl, and we will do a canned food drive, and it will all be fun. And then there's also one thing that's not on here. We have our Ogden Rooftop Cinema program that we're piloting this year with local DJ Goik. It's going to be, the first one is August 27th, and that's going to be a showing of The Sandlot, and it'll be a free showing, and then beforehand we'll have a fashion show supporting our local, any local retailers that want to be in it. And the next one will be, oh, I'm sorry, that's helpful information. So if you go to the Megaplex, it's in the south parking garage. It'll be on the top floor of the parking garage because we're crazy. Um, but yeah, no, it'll be kind of fun. I've been up there several times, and it's really just quite picturesque. So hopefully we have a lot of participation. There'll be live music. There'll be games, chalk to color on all of the things. Don't tell the city. No, just kidding. But yeah, it'll be fun. There'll be a lot to do up there, and then there will also be vendors there and a cash bar. And then the second one is September 24th. Yes, September 24th. And that one will be a showing of Big Trouble in Little China, my personal favorite. And then the third one will be October 15th, and that will be Empire Strikes Back. Okay, any questions? Yes, probably. We share them quite often on our Ogden Downtown Alliance Facebook page, but if you want to, they're on the website too, apparently. ogdendowntown.com. Okay? All right, thanks.
I also just wanted to give a quick shout out to Jess, because since the last time we all met, we had Beats and Beats, right? That was after. And it was very successful, and the artwork was incredible. I should have put together like a slide of all of the finished ones and of the winner. I will put that in the follow-up email, but very incredible. I loved all of it, so we're excited to have that as our poster artwork for next year. And then also Jess is just great and has been working with a local artist on our Harvest Moon design for the poster and t-shirt for this year. Remind me of their name again, the artist. Josh Smith, who has also participated in Beats and Beats in the past. So love that for her, love that for this group, obsessed. I will turn the time over to Thane to talk about the Monarch really quick.
So thank you very much for having us here at the Nine Rails meeting, and it's really more just we hope everybody comes out over the next First Friday Art Stroll, which will be coming up here in September, and our 25th Street is reopening, and hopefully it'll be all the way up through Adams, and that could be a complete drive-through now. We've been kind of closed for a while, so make sure you come down, check out the First Friday Art Stroll. Eccles Community, Community Arts Center, Cuppa, Lotus, and Thai Curry, they're all open. We're all still open, so just come on down, check us out. But now sidewalks, you can drive in, and that should all be hopefully done roughly around September. That's what we're hearing. And then in September, the Monarch is also going to be having its second Saturday markets, which I'm not quite sure which the brand is on that one. I get Brandy would know, but check out our website. And then there's also going to be, UTA is also helping with Ogden City and all the strategic partners in putting on a block party. I want to say that's September 10th, and that will be at the corner of 25th Street and Ogden Avenue, where the Dumpke Arts Plaza and the new concrete the plaza extension, is that what we're calling it? Will be, yeah, so we're looking to put, there'll be live music, and there'll be a fun band, and there'll be a event going on that day as well. So all that's available on our website, Facebook page, digital platforms, and so feel free to check in. If there's any questions, I'll answer them. Otherwise, thank you for having us. Thank you very much.
Me again. At this time, I would like to open it up if anyone has any overall questions, additional ideas, thoughts, concerns. Lori? I'll put that in the follow-up email as well. I'll link that, what you, yeah. I love it. Thank you. Oh, wow. Nice. Ooh, that'll be the headline for that section of the follow-up email. Yes. Anything else? Oh, there's another breaking bus update. Ooh, a bus date. Okay. Yeah, like the new shuttle, Sitch. Yeah, okay. That's exciting. Thank you, Karen, our bus expert, resident bus expert. She has her Google alerts on for the BRT, I'm telling you. Thank you. On the back of the agenda, there are just a few dates to save, the ones that Jess just went over, and then there are some resources on the bottom. I know someone has already filled out the Instagram takeover sign-up form, but if you are interested in taking over the 9 Rails Ogden Instagram stories for a night, a weekend, an event that you have going on, that is available, and you'll just want to connect with Cam. Her email is on the agenda. And then also the ODA newsletter that we send out is the first Thursday of each month, and that's also a great resource. I'm assuming everyone that is here and watching is on that because this is coming on that email. So if you're watching this, you're getting that email. But just share that with any of your neighbors or new creatives in town or just residents that are interested in learning more. And then just a plug for the corner again and for Trumba. I know we've gone over those resources for sharing events and sharing things with Gina, who is great at putting them on social and covering those events and just everything that's happening. And then also tagging us, 9 Rails Ogden, Ogden Downtown. We'd be happy to amplify what you are doing as well. And then checking Trumba for those events and then also making sure that your opportunities are on there as well if you have things going on. So, anything else? Wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for being here. This is our last in-person 9 Rails meeting of the year, but we will be sending out emails, and then we have another town hall for the Downtown Alliance coming up on October 12th at 9 a.m. if you would like to come to that. But if that is all, then don't forget to fill out the interactive map on your way out and grab a cookie or 5 to go because there are quite a few back there, and we will see you all later. Thank you.